In the quiet beginning before the dawn of your awareness, water stirs, tiny molecules born from starfire, ancient as time itself. Imagine these gentle travelers weaving through the dark vastness of space, patiently awaiting their moment to cradle a newborn world. As you rest here, let these quiet droplets carry you softly through an ancient cosmic dance, whispering the secrets of origins and timelessness into your dreaming mind. Hello, dear friend, as you settle in, softening the edges of your day, I invite you to join me in a gentle journey, a story drawn from the heart of the universe, told in the language of flowing water. Close your eyes if you wish, or keep them softly open, gazing into a space beyond sight, where the simplest things often carry the grandest tales. Before the earth you know was shaped beneath your feet, before the skies wore their clouds like lace, before oceans greeted the shore with tender waves, water already existed. But it wasn't the water you hold in your hands tonight. No, it began far away, in the vast, cold dark of space. There, among the glittering stars, tiny molecules of water, fragile yet stubborn, danced into being. Picture a breathtaking cosmic ballroom, the space between stars. It's not a wild, noisy place, but a slow, graceful waltz, where atoms drift gently, drawn together by a quiet force. Hydrogen, the universe's lightest and most abundant element, floats through this vastness, a delicate thread in a cosmic tapestry. Alongside it is oxygen, forged deep in the fiery hearts of ancient stars, released in a magnificent supernova blaze, like confetti celebrating the grandest of parties. When hydrogen and oxygen meet under just the right conditions, cold, quiet, patient, they bond into water, H2O, a simple molecule, shaped like a tender embrace, two hydrogens clutching one oxygen at a bent angle. But this humble shape holds amazing power. Encased in frozen space dust, water molecules gather, cling together over eons, forming icy particles drifting across the universe like tiny cosmic snowflakes. Now, imagine an infant planet, Earth, still molten, vibrant, chaotic, a glowing jewel still cooling from its fiery birth. This young world was not yet ready for life, but it eagerly awaited the arrival of water. Through a period astronomers call the Late Heavy Bombardment, countless comets and icy asteroids, gentle carriers of ancient water, crashed into this newborn planet. Each impact delivered irreplaceable drops, billions of years old, molecules that have traveled across space and time to find a place here. It's a comforting thought. Every sip you take may hold a secret traveler, a molecule that began its journey long before dinosaurs roamed, before the sky turned blue, before your own story. Water is a patient companion, never ceasing to flow, even through the fiery chaos of Earth's earliest days. But water is more than just molecules. The miracle lies in how they cling together, like a quiet community bound by invisible bonds called hydrogen bonds. This makes water sticky in a molecular dance, where droplets pull gently on each other, curling into droplets rather than flattening like spilled ink. This stickiness lets water climb, defy gravity, whispering life upward through the roots of ancient trees, a silent song of survival. Water, in its endless dance between solid, liquid, and gas, is the only substance on Earth to wear all three forms naturally: ice, liquid water, and vapor, each shape telling a story. When water freezes, it expands and floats on liquid, a beautiful exception to the rules that shapes life beneath frozen lakes. Keeping it safe through winter's hush, the Earth's wild youth saw oceans born not with calm blue shores but with raging heat, acidic tides, and underwater volcanoes that bubbled like a cauldron of life's first mysteries. Through these temperatures and mineral-rich waters, the stage set itself for life's humble steps. So, dear listener, as you nestle deeper into your bed, feel the ancient water within you, in your blood, your breath, your tears. You hold a constellation of cosmic history inside. With every heartbeat, the molecules hum a soft lullaby of unity and persistence, reminding you that the story of water is your story too. And now, imagine the droplets swirling higher, rising as vapor to form clouds above, ready to fall again in gentle rain, completing the endless cycle of renewal. The water that soothes you tonight is part of a dance as old as time, a promise to keep flowing, keep living, keep connecting. As you drift towards sleep, carry this gentle thought with you: the water you drink, the rain that kissed the earth, and the tears that glistened quietly all began in the heart of stars long extinguished. In the silence of space, waiting patiently to cradle life on a small blue planet. And so, the journey of water, like our dreams, has only just begun. If water could speak, what stories would its molecules share as they drift through time and space? And where might your own drop find itself tomorrow, in another part of this ceaseless dance? From fiery chaos to quiet rains, Earth softens beneath the touch of water. Endless showers wash away the heat, carving valleys and pooling into early seas. In these warm, mineral-rich waters, life stirs tiny chemistry dances that will grow into the first living cells, relax into the rhythm of this celestial transformation, where every drop whispers patience, resilience, and renewal. As you sink deeper into your bed, your body slowing, your breath steadying, imagine the earth as it was long before the stories you know, wild and raw, alive with fire, yet yearning for something soft to cling to. This is the beginning of water's quiet art on this young world. The earth's first moments are far from gentle, its surface is molten, a glowing ocean of blazing rock. Volcanoes erupt endlessly, blanketing the skies with thick clouds of ash and smoke that hide the promise of a blue sky. But amid this fierceness, a quieter visitor arrives, water. Not new, but ancient and patient, carried here by comet and asteroid, perhaps also bubbling up from deep inside the planet itself. Visualize massive clouds billions of years ago, so thick and heavy they blot out the sun, wrapped in steam escaping from Earth's trembling insides. Day after day, year after year, rain falls, not the soft patter you know, but torrential showers, drenching a barren, rocky world. This great planetary rinse continues for millions of years, relentless and steady, shaping the surface with a patient, liquid hand. As these rains fall, water begins to collect, pooling in low places to form the planet's first oceans. But these seas are nothing like the placid blue stretches we imagine today. They're warm, acidic, a murky stew rich with minerals from Earth's fiery womb. Under the waves, volcanic vents hiss and bubble, releasing clouds of mineral-rich steam, painting the underwater world with hues of iron reds and sulfurous yellows. This early ocean is a place of wild chemistry, where minerals mingle and dance in the dark. Imagine these turbulent waters as a grand laboratory, with currents stirring ingredients together, coaxing molecules to meet and mingle. Here, tiny droplets merge, eventually giving rise to the first whispers of life. Water, you see, is not just a passive stage for this story, it is an active participant. Its unique personality, the way its molecules cling to one another, slide, dissolve, and move makes it the perfect medium for life's first fragile steps. Water's polarity, like a tiny magnet inside each drop, pulls chemicals into just the right arrangements, encouraging the assembly of organic molecules that can replicate and grow beneath those ancient waves. In the quiet embrace of hydrothermal vents, life begins to stir. These vents, openings in the seafloor that pour hot, mineral-rich water into the ocean, create pockets of warmth and energy amid the vast cold. Imagine them as underwater hearths, glowing with possibility, where the first cells might have formed simple, tiny bubbles, trapping molecules, learning to copy themselves. Hesitant, patient, this deep, dark ocean cradle was shielded from the harsh ultraviolet light that bathed the early Earth's surface. It gave life a chance, safe and slow. With water as both laboratory and shelter, the earliest life forms unfolded like whispered secrets, turning chemical chance into biological certainty. As you breathe quietly now, consider how water shaped this new world, not just by filling oceans, but by carving valleys, smoothing stone, and eventually building the very continents beneath your feet. Water seeps gently into cracks, freezes and expands, splitting rock apart. Over millions of years, these tiny acts of patience sculpt mountains and plains, shifting Earth's face like an artist at work. Water also moves through the planet's depths. Some of it is dragged down with sinking tectonic plates into the mantle, locked away in minerals, perhaps waiting to return one day. In fact, some scientists suggest there may be more water inside the Earth itself than all the oceans combined. Hidden reservoir, quietly flowing in a deep, molten dance. Nearby, sunlight begins to break through the thick blanket of early atmosphere, touching those ancient oceans. This faint light awakens tiny organisms, microscopic pioneers called cyanobacteria, who learned how to use sunlight and water in a magical process, photosynthesis. With each split of a water molecule, oxygen is released, slowly filling the atmosphere. turning the dark skies blue, shaping the world for life to come. This transformation, called the Great Oxidation Event, is one of Earth's grandest acts, a slow widening of breath, as the planet inhales life and exhales air, readying itself for complexity. Meanwhile, the oceans never rest. They pulse with the tides, driven by the moon's gentle pull, and swirl with currents powered by the sun's warmth. These movements distribute heat and nutrients, tying distant regions together in a deep, watery embrace. Imagine the oceans as a great engine, humming softly through time, balancing Earth's climate and supporting the web of life. As you feel the rhythm of your own breath, know that water flows within you, around every cell, in every artery, carrying life's essentials. The same water that carved ancient canyons now courses through your body, a timeless traveler in your veins. And so, as days slips toward night and your thoughts begin to soften, imagine yourself floating in those ancient oceans, warm, alive, full of stars reflected beneath a hazy sky. Here, in this gentle beginning, water cradles life's first flickers, holding them close in its steady embrace. Let your mind drift on this endless liquid journey, water shaping worlds, birthing life, moving quietly, persistently, patiently. What secret melodies lie hidden in the ripple of ancient seas? And which part of this infinite ocean might your own moments touch as dreams begin to unfold? Water is the quiet artist shaping mountains and valleys alike, tirelessly carving the earth with gentle patience. Through freezing, flowing, and soaking, it reshapes landscapes, forging rivers that carry secrets and life across the land. As you rest, let your imagination drift along these ever-changing waterways, feeling the slow, soft rhythm of water's endless dance that connects past, present, and future. As you settle deeper into stillness, imagine yourself beside a rushing river, its voice soft but persistent, a timeless whisper, carved by water's touch. You may not always see the slow artistry in water's flow, but it is quietly at work, shaping the very ground beneath your feet. Water is both gentle and relentless, a sculptor whose tools are patience and persistence. It slips into cracks unseen, weaving its way into the bones of the earth. Over time, it freezes and expands, prying stone apart like a slow, tender revolution. This simple act, repeated billions of times, can split mountains, carve canyons, and reshape continents. Picture the Grand Canyon, a vast scar etched over millions of years by the Colorado River's patient hand. Each drop of water has flowed through time and rock, smoothing sharp edges and revealing layers of ancient earth like pages in a forgotten book. This isn't fury or force, it's quiet determination, a slow unfolding written in water. When water freezes, it becomes a sculptor of ice and stone. Ice creeps and flows, grinding valleys into U-shaped troughs and leaving serene lakes where glaciers once held court. Imagine this frozen river creeping inch by inch, shaping the landscape in silent, monochrome strokes of cold. But water doesn't only destroy, it also builds, carrying sediment and rich soil, laying down new land. Rivers deposit silt in floodplains, gifts of life to future forests and fields. Along coastlines, currents shape beaches and deltas, creating nurseries for countless creatures. Beneath the ocean waves, tiny architects toil to coral reefs rise like underwater cities, built by millions of minuscule builders. These sprawling kingdoms teem with life, nurturing diversity, and weaving complex webs of connection. It's water's patience again, gently constructing the foundation for thriving ecosystems. This endless dance of erosion and construction shows water's dual nature, both creator and destroyer, a force of renewal and decay. The river that carves your favorite nook and cranny may one day deposit the sediments that birth fertile lands elsewhere. Water's journeys across the planet aren't random, but part of a grand choreography shaped by gravity, climate, and time. It flows in rhythms that whisper stories of ice ages past and continents drifting slowly on the mantle's slow dance floor. Earth may seem solid and permanent to you, but underneath it all, water's soft hands mold and shift the stage of life. As you breathe quietly now, sense how water moves within you, not rushing like a river but steady, flowing through your veins, nourishing every cell. It carries your lifeblood with a gentle force. Just as rivers carry nutrients and sediments across vast landscapes, water's whispers also reach the sky, where clouds drift and gather, Sunlight and temperature tease the water into shifting forms. Liquid ice-all, part of the same endless journey. These subtle transformations shape weather and climate, drawing breaths between earth and air. Consider the seasons of water, freeze and thaw, that renew lakes and rivers through annual turnarounds of temperature and density. Around 4 degrees Celsius, water reaches its heaviest, sinking to nourish depths, then rising as it cools further, ensuring aquatic life's delicate balance. This quiet miracle in lakes and ponds is a reminder of water's gentle precision. Maintenance crew, working invisibly to sustain the pulse of life beneath the surface. It's as if water knows the rhythm of life and moves accordingly, steady and sure. Now, imagine the same patient water carving deep channels, creating fertile valleys where life gathers and thrives. After ages of travel, these rivers become homes, places for fish, frogs, birds, and countless creatures that depend on clean, flowing water. But water's power can also be sudden and overwhelming. Meltwater from retreating glaciers can surge, flooding valleys and reshaping landscapes dramatically in just a few years. These moments remind us that even the gentlest forces can astonish us when unleashed. Throughout history, people have felt water's power and mystery deeply. They built downstream cities beside rivers that first carved the land, drawing not only life but stories, myths, and a sense of belonging. Water shaped not only the earth but the imagination. As you relax, let your mind drift along a stream, listening to its endless song, a melody that carries whispered secrets of ice, stone, and time. Water's song is slow, soft, and steady, inviting you to rest and wonder. What landscapes would you find if you followed a single drop of water all the way, from mountaintop to ocean floor? What stories might it carry from the places it has touched? Imagine now, as your body relaxes deeper, the gentle flow of rivers guiding the footsteps of our earliest ancestors. Water was never just a backdrop for human life. It was the silent, life-giving companion that shaped where and how we lived, dreamed, and thrived. Long before cities rose, before empires stretched across continents, humans followed the water. In the vast, dry savannas of ancient Africa, waterholes were oases of survival. They gathered animals, plants, and people alike in shared spaces of life and risk. Early humans knew well the preciousness of these spots. Water brought food, fish in streams, reeds along riverbanks, animals coming to drink in danger. As many creatures sought the same life-giving source, following rivers was a natural way to explore, migrate, and discover. These waterways became highways through unfamiliar lands, guiding early groups as they ventured out from Africa into new continents. The Nile, Tigris, Euphrates, Indus, and Yangtze rivers later became cradles where great civilizations blossomed, the silent lifelines around which history was written. Settlements, naturally clustered near reliable water sources, rivers, lakes, springs offering life, agriculture, and trade. Archaeologists often find ancient cities nestled close to water, a testament to its enduring value across time and cultures. Even a modest stream or trickle could support thriving communities, nurturing the roots of complex societies. Water shaped not only survival but culture and belief. Nearly every ancient civilization revered water as sacred. In Mesopotamia, gods dwelt within the watery depths. Floods were feared and worshipped as divine acts. The Nile flowed with predictable power. In Egypt, its yearly rise and fall guiding calendars, agricultural rhythms, and religious thought. The Great Bath of Mohenjo-Daro, an early city in the Indus Valley, hints at water's role in ritual, hygiene, and community, a purpose beyond mere utility. Water-inspired myths and origin stories worldwide, primordial oceans from which creation emerged, rivers encircling the earth, and the deep chaotic waters before order was born. The Bible, Hindu cosmology, Greek mythology, acknowledges water's primal role, evoking its mysterious, vast, and eternal nature. Yet water reminds us it is both giver and taker. Floods could nourish fertile soils or sweep away homes and lives. In devastating torrents, these dualities shaped human understanding and response. To harness water's power, civilizations became ingenious, digging wells, building canals, and creating reservoirs and irrigation systems that tamed unpredictability to feed growing populations. In Mesopotamia and Egypt, irrigation led to agricultural surpluses, freeing people for building temples, writing, and governance a foundation of civilization itself. Sanitation became essential. The Indus Valley crafted early public sewers and private bathrooms long before Europe knew similar innovations, linking water management to health and order. Trade followed water's course. Rivers and seas became highways for boats laden with goods, ideas, and culture. The Mediterranean connected Greeks, Phoenicians, Egyptians, and Romans, turning water into an invisible thread, weaving diverse peoples together. Yet water's very nature resisted complete control. Carrying it was heavy and awkward, leading humans to invent storage vessels, gourds, skins, pottery, hollowed logs and, eventually large-scale transport through aqueducts and plumbing. Roman aqueducts remain icons of engineering brilliance, delivering millions of gallons daily with stone arches spanning valleys and hills. Romans loved their baths, social hubs combining cleanliness, culture, and leisure, symbols of civic pride and hygiene. Elsewhere, Greeks, Chinese, Incas, and Nabateans mastered water's flow through fountains, irrigation canals, mountain aqueducts, and desert systems like those in Petra, turning scarce water into thriving urban life. Control over water often meant power. Kings, priests, and emperors built vast reservoirs, not just to nourish but to assert dominion. Floods could affirm divine favor or threaten rulers with blame. Yet broadly, water infrastructure united communities physically and socially. Baths and fountains became gathering places, centers of connection. Water management also birthed curiosity and science. Early engineers measured flows, pressures, and gradients, laying groundwork for mathematics, physics, and hydrology. We continue to be mesmerized by water's movements, from bubbling springs to majestic fountains drawn in by its quiet perfection. Today, beneath our cities' hidden networks hum, reminiscent of those ancient feats. We still turn taps and watch water flow with a simple wonder born from millennia of human creativity. Water remains ordinary yet extraordinary, the ultimate survivor and life-giver. From ancient springs to modern filtration plants, it ties us to ancestors and to the natural world with every drop. As you rest, feel this connection deep within. Water flows in your veins, links you to rivers and oceans, to ancient rains and distant stars. It carries stories of survival, power, beauty, and renewal. So, breathe deeply and carry with you the timeless truth: where there is water, there is life, and where there is care, that life will flow on. As you settle deeper into your evening calm, imagine the hidden journey that water takes every day, a journey that starts far from your glass, in sparkling streams, lakes, or deep underground, and ends in the simple act of turning on a tap. The water that flows through our homes is a triumph of human ingenuity, a delicate dance of nature and engineering. It begins at a source, sometimes a high mountain lake, a swiftly flowing river, or an ancient underground aquifer, slowly replenished by raindrops seeping through soil and rock over centuries. But this is only the start. Raw water is rarely pure or safe to drink. It carries earth and plant matter, algae, microorganisms, and sometimes pollutants from human or animal activity. To protect our health and preserve life's fragile balance, this water must be carefully treated. The process unfolds in stages, each a step designed with precision and care. Large debris like leaves, branches, and even stray tennis balls are first screened out, preventing damage and clogging downstream. Then comes the chemistry. Like aluminum or iron, salts stir into the water, encouraging tiny dirt particles and impurities to cling together into larger clumps called flocks, easier to settle and remove. Gravity does its patient work next. As water rests in vast sedimentation tanks, those flocks slowly sink, clearing the water above. Following that, filtration takes over, with layers of sand, gravel, or activated carbon catching smaller particles, missed before, and even filtering out odors and tastes that might spoil your tea. The final and most critical step is disinfection, a guardian against unseen enemies. Small doses of chlorine, chloramine, or ozone are introduced to kill harmful bacteria and viruses, securing the water's safety all the way from plant to your faucet. This clever chemistry extends protection through the vast maze of pipes, pumps, and valves beneath city streets. These underground veins, some ancient and fragile, others modern and equipped with sensors, tirelessly link the water's source to schools, hospitals, homes, and fire hydrants. Engineers continually monitor pressure, purity, and flow, fixing leaks before they become floods or dry spells. And then, in a moment often taken for granted, you twist the tap, and water pours forth, clean, clear, life-sustaining, an everyday miracle. But the story does not end here. After watering plants, cooking meals, or washing skin, water flows again into drains, sewers, and treatment plants, where it is purified, sometimes reused, and ultimately returned to rivers, lakes, or the sea. This cycle continues endlessly, a fluid journey marked by resilience as well as challenge. Across the globe, access to safe drinking water remains uneven. For some, wells, rain collection, or long treks deliver this precious resource. For others, aging pipes or pollution threaten health daily. Yet advances in technology offer hope. Solar-powered pumps, gravity-fed systems, ultraviolet sterilization, and portable purification tablets bring cleaner water closer to remote communities. Desalination, turning seawater into fresh, once too costly and energy-hungry, now grows more efficient. Places like Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE show how innovation can transform desert landscapes into thriving regions. Water conservation is no less crucial. Drip irrigation nourishes roots efficiently, appliances reduce wastage, and rainwater harvesting revives ancient wisdom for modern droughts. Policies and education shape water's future too. When communities understand where their water originates and how fragile the supply is, behavior changes. Decisions made collectively, with respect for water's value, ripple outward to protect ecosystems and economies. But water remains deeply personal and emotional, a source of joy in a cool swim, a sacred element in rituals, a witness to human history and hope. This vital resource feeds fields, fuels industries, and fills veins. Yet it is finite. Earth is mostly water, true, but only a tiny fraction is the fresh water we depend on. Much is locked in ice or lies deep underground. As climate shifts, demand rises, and populations grow. That precious, accessible water becomes ever more precious. Droughts linger longer, floods roar fiercer, ice caps melt, sea levels rise, and rivers shrink or swell unpredictably. Both scarcity and abundance threaten communities, a delicate balance. Upset by our actions. Pollution, from fertilizers to plastics to so-called forever chemicals, challenges safety. Aging infrastructures like lead pipes still put lives at risk. The future calls for stewardship and innovation, a shared responsibility to respect water not as an endless commodity but as a legacy. As you slowly drift toward sleep, consider the journey of every drop you drink, the ancient cosmic origins, the geological shaping of continents, the nurturing of life, and the deep human stories entwined with water's flow. Every drop is part of the same endless cycle that connects you, your ancestors, and generations yet to come. May tomorrow's waters be clean, abundant, and kind, just as they have been for millennia in nature's silent, patient hands. As night deepens around you and your breath slows, it's time to reflect on water's next journey, beyond what's been, and into what might be. Water has shaped Earth since the stars first cast their light. It has washed civilizations ashore, carved canyons, and whispered life into existence. Yet, the story of water is unfinished. The story now belongs to us, the caretakers and stewards of this blue planet's greatest gift. Right now, water faces challenges born from our own hands. Growing populations thirsty for food, cities expanding farther than ancient aqueducts ever dreamed, and a climate no longer steady. Droughts stretch deserts, aquifers drain faster than they fill, and storms roar with fury once unknown. But water is patient. Its cycle is resilient. It cleanses, nourishes, and flows onward, waiting for us to learn balance, creativity, and care. Scientists and engineers are meeting this moment with wonder and invention. New technology offers promise: solar-powered desalination turning sea to sip, ultra-efficient irrigation delivering life drop by drop, compact filtration systems turning unsafe water sweet, digital sensors monitor vast networks, catching leaks before waste can flow, making our use smarter and more sustainable. Communities revive ancient wisdom alongside modern science. Rainwater harvesting gardens green thirsty cities, restored wetlands act as living filters, healing waters and habitats alike. Policies are evolving, encouraging us to think not in ownership but in stewardship, justice, and shared legacy. Education, plants the seed of respect. From classrooms to farms, from urban centers to remote villages, understanding water's true value encourages thoughtful use and protection. Every drop saved today ripples forward in benefits not yet fully understood. Our relationship with water is deeper than utility. It is sacred, emotional, and cultural. Water cools our bodies, inspires our stories, and feeds our souls. It is the silent pulse beneath every heartbeat, the soft rhythm in every breath. So tonight, as your eyes grow heavy and dreams beckon, remember the journey of water, not just the molecule in your glass, but the infinite story it carries. From cosmic frost to your fingertips, water connects us all. Flowing through time and space with quiet grace, may we listen to its lessons and honor its gifts, so that tomorrow's children will find rivers running clear, oceans teeming, and skies humming with life. Water's story goes on, and like the endless cycle itself, it returns, always, ready to nurture life once more. As you nestle further into the quiet of your own world, imagine water not just as a resource, but as a bridge linking time, nature, and humanity in an unending embrace. Throughout history, water has been much more than a substance to drink or a force to endure. It has been a source of inspiration, a sacred element, and a profound teacher. From the earliest myths to modern movements, water carries stories and meaning that flow beyond the physical. Cultures around the world see water as a living presence, a spirit, a protector, a giver of life, and at times, a stern guardian reminding us of limits. Sacred rivers like the Ganges, the Nile, and the Amazon nurture both body and soul, weaving together religion, tradition, and daily life. Today, as we face water's growing challenges, these ancient ways remind us of respect and reverence. They urge us to listen, to honor, and to care. Our cities and technologies have grown monumental, but the heart of the matter remains simple. Water connects us all. It runs beneath the streets and through veins alike. It unites farmers and fishers, mothers and children, deserts and rainforests. Our destinies flow together. As surely as rivers meet the sea, the future beckons a new chapter, one where wisdom and science work hand in hand with empathy and tradition. Sustainable choices, equitable policies, and global cooperation are no longer ideals but necessities. Innovation spurs hope, from community-led water conservation to cutting-edge purification, from restored wetlands to water-wise gardens. Each action is a ripple with power to change the tides, and within each of us lives a responsibility to cherish every drop, to protect fragile ecosystems, and to ensure that water remains a gift for all generations yet to come. So as your eyes begin to close and dreams take hold, may you carry with you water's quiet promise, a cycle of renewal, a history of resilience, and a future flowing with possibility. Water is more than a story. It is a shared legacy, a living thread woven through every life. And as long as we honor its flow, that story will continue endless, vital, and beautiful. As your thoughts drift gently tonight, imagine water's journey beyond the present moment, a future shaped by choice, care, and possibility. The story of water is far from over. Though ancient and resilient, our planet's water faces new crossroads. Climate shifts, population growth, and environmental pressures remind us that water is not infinite. It asks for respect, for protection, for thoughtful guardianship. Water teaches us that balance is everything. It flows strongest when paths are clear, when cycles complete their dance, and when life moves in harmony. Disruption to one drop sends ripples across oceans and communities alike. But just as water carves canyons over millennia, change comes slowly and often with patience. Around the globe, people are rising to meet the challenge. Some plant forests to restore watersheds, others design cities that drink rain without waste. Innovation is blooming: smart irrigation, leak detection, recycled waters, and desalination powered by the sun. Yet solutions will only flourish where we also awaken to water's worth, not just as a resource, but as a shared legacy. It asks for stewardship that crosses borders, cultures, and generations. Your actions, no matter how small, join this great flow. Saving a liter here, protecting a wetland there, spreading knowledge, and demanding fairness. These are the currents that shape a better future. Tonight, as you breathe in and let calm wash over you, carry water's quiet promise with you, its endless cycle of renewal and its patient persistence. A reminder that our fates ripple together, carried on streams of hope and responsibility. Water is more than a molecule or a necessity. It's a living thread binding us all. With wisdom and kindness, that thread can grow stronger, weaving a future where every drop counts and every life flourishes. So rest easy, knowing that water's story will move on, flowing gently, wildly, endlessly, just as it always has, inviting us all to be part of its caring dance. As you settle deeper into tranquility, imagine water as more than a resource, water as a mirror reflecting our own being. Water flows quietly through every part of life, from the cells inside us to the rivers outside. It is a silent companion, ancient and enduring, yet full of mystery. Science reveals so much, its molecules, cycles, and chemistry, but water still holds secrets, whispers of worlds beyond ours, and stories yet to be told. In many cultures, water is sacred, a symbol of cleansing and rebirth, a gateway between worlds, a life force both gentle and fierce. Our rituals, poetry, and myths echo this profound relationship. Water is woven into language and memory, shaping how we understand time, change, emotion, and connection. Tomorrow's water will be unlike any in history. It faces transformations shaped by climate, technology, and human choices. Rising sea levels, shifting rains, disappearing glaciers challenge us to rethink how we live with water, honoring its flow rather than attempting control. But water also offers hope, renewal, adaptability, resilience. It invites us to learn its rhythms, to design cities that embrace floods rather than fight them, to share this precious gift equitably with all life. Every effort matters, from backyard gardens that capture rain to global innovations delivering clean water to those in need. With kindness, knowledge, and respect, we can become true stewards of water's future. Tonight, as your breath rises and falls like the gentle tide, carry water's promise within you, a cycle unbroken, a bond unshaken. You are part of this flow, a note in water's endless song. Sleep softly, knowing that water, the oldest traveler of all, flows with you, now and always. As your mind drifts deeper into rest, let's turn our thoughts to the quietly steadfast friend that flows through every moment of our days. Water, though it may seem ordinary, a sip from a glass, a splash in the shower water, is anything but. It shapes our bodies, our homes, our stories, and our joys. From soothing coolness on a hot day to the gentle murmur of a stream, water connects us not just to nature, but to each other. In every culture, water carries meaning. It baptizes, purifies, refreshes, and heals. It fills the cups and pots of daily life and inspires poems, prayers, and celebrations. Our languages weave water into metaphors of emotion and time, how feelings can swell or ebb, how life flows on. Water nurtures us beyond hydration. It cleanses wounds, comforts the spirit, and carries nutrients essential for health. It's the medium for the delicate dance of chemistry inside our bodies, supporting every heartbeat and breath. Yet water also teaches humility. It reminds us that life depends on balance. Too little, and plants wither and rivers dry. Too much, and floods reshape lands and lives. We learn to listen to its rhythms, adapting our lives and technologies to flow alongside it rather than against. Your daily water is part of an ancient voyage, a molecule that may have danced among stars, sailed across primordial oceans, and traveled through empires long vanished. Every drop is a story, a thread in the vast tapestry of life. As we move forward, the challenge is to honor this legacy, ensuring water remains clean, plentiful, and sacred for all who walk the earth after us. So tonight, as you close your eyes, and the world grows quiet, feel water's gentle presence within. Let its calmness wash over you, its endless cycle, a lullaby that comforts, connects, and sustains. Sleep gently, companioned by water's timeless flow.